I'll say 100%, Dana White confirms Jon Jones will fight Tom Aspinall in 2025 to unify UFC heavyweight division. Dana White has made a rare guarantee that Jon Jones will fight Tom Aspinall for the UFC heavyweight title in 2025. UFC President White is not usually one to make guarantees, but it looks like he's made an exception for what could be the company's biggest ever fight. Jones became the heavyweight champion following a move up in weight classes in 2023 by submitting Cyril Gane on his return to MMA after a 3-year hiatus at UFC 285. He then comfortably defended the belt in November against an aging Stipe Miocic, who has since retired from MMA. The 37-year-old previously dominated the UFC's light heavyweights, defending the belt 13 times during a period when he was perched at the division summit for nearly 10 years. Aspinall, meanwhile, has cleared out the heavyweight division en route to UFC stardom since making his debut with White's promotion in 2020. The former Cage Warriors fighter secured interim heavyweight champion status after stopping Sergey Pavlovich in one round at UFC 295 last November. He then retained the interim belt against Curtis Blades at UFC Manchester 8 months later, and has called out Jones several times for a unification bout to no avail. When asked if Jones vs. Aspinall is the biggest fight his promotion can put on in 2025 during UFC Tampa's post-fight press conference, White cast no doubt on his thoughts regarding the clash. "I think it's probably the biggest fight in heavyweight history," White said. "And it's a massive fight in the history of the company, too. It's a big fight." White was then pressed by a journalist if he can 100% guarantee that the pair will meet in 2025. His response, "Yeah. I'll say 100%. In the build-up to his fight with Miocic and since retaining his title, Bones has publicly remained adamant that he would prefer a fight with current light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira. But White seemed to confirm that the words of the UFC heavyweight champion have been one big smokescreen. "So usually those guys say that shit behind the scenes and not publicly," White added. "Jon says that publicly, but not behind the scenes. Jon is a very unique individual to deal with. From day one, I've been confident that Jon Jones would do that fight. Right. I mean, even before the fight I said, if he won, there's no way Jon doesn't do this fight. Jon Jones isn't afraid to fight anybody, and that's a fact. Jon Jones behind the scenes is not a guy that turns down fights." UFC Tampa witnessed Joaquin Buckley climb up the welterweight rankings with a doctor's stoppage victory over Colby Covington. Cub Swanson, meanwhile, knocked out Billy Quarantillo in the fight of the night, and Manel Kape was victorious over Bruno Silva in the last UFC card of 2024. White also went on to tease the media with other plans he has for next year.